Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this real special Studio Series 86 Constructicon video, what we're going to be doing, of course, is looking at the newest updated version of bonecrusher, comparing him just for a bit of fun with his Generation 1 self, but more importantly with his Combiner Wars version of himself, so we can see where there's been any upgrades, where there's any changes. The most obvious, of course, is the size, so let's go a little bit more in depth and have a look at this. Before we get started, guys, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now, please, and also to thank Indemand toy stores, which is where this has came from, and of course via Hasbro. Once again, thank you for this amazing opportunity. So first things first, when you look at these, you can pretty much tell that they are, of course, all the same character. The fact that you've got the tracks around the front of the legs off them all is brilliant. The fact you've got the bucket on the front of them all, again, is brilliant. And you know, they all look really good together. This one was a little bit basic. This one looks a little bit more small and chunky, and this one, of course, is just it's a legend, isn't it? Let's be honest. So let's just do a couple of side turns, etc., but then we'll go really in depth with what people want to see. It looks like one of them charts, you know, you've got the people coming down in all the sizes. It's just interesting to see how they've changed and how much they've improved. Now you can, of course, take this off if you wanted to. I'm going to actually take it off again just because it makes it that little bit fairer, because it also looks like he's going to attach that onto this one very similar. So as you can see, they all, you can tell again straight away the character, the traits, etc., they all look very, very good. So with regards to, I suppose, the important things, you can see they've both got ball and socket joints at the top of their shoulders, like so. So you can do the full T with both of them. Now, what I don't really like with the Combiner Wars one is these bits there. Of course, they're supposed to be knee bends, but they're way too high. They're literally in the middle of the thigh, but you can, of course, do that, no problem. This one's slightly better. Of course, it's hidden more inside the actual mold, and it is actually where the knee is, which is good, but the sacrifice is that the legs do look, let's be honest, I'm not saying out of proportion, but I would be fibbing if I wouldn't say they didn't look a bit small. But again, you guys let me know in the comments what you think. That's the whole purpose of this. The feet is exactly the same design. You fold them out, so that's just exactly the same. Nice and clever, tends to work really well. They've even gone the same with the ball and socket joints as the biceps. So the Combiner Wars one has got the ball and sockets on the biceps there, like that. And as I say, this one doesn't have a waist swivel. It's got that bit where you move forward. Love the fact we've got the Decepticon logo tucked in there as well. I will be uploading separate transformation tutorials and indeed, of course, reviews as well. It's honestly, it seems like a, not a maybe a slightly just downsized version of this, but because it's downsized, it feels more robust. Obviously, when you're looking on the inside of this, because you extended the legs out, you're left with that hollow bit. I suppose that's all they've missed, really. They haven't bothered with the extending of the legs. They've put the knee where the knee pretty much goes. There's obviously no wrist articulation, unfortunately, because it's just painted on with regards to the mold. Head sculpt, though, I think is fantastic. It's just, yeah, it's a smaller version of this particular figure. So that is, I think, there's not much more to say, guys. I'm looking intentionally to try and find if there is any massive difference to point out to you. I also want to quickly reiterate as well that these are sort of the same test pieces that were I was lucky enough to see at the MCN, which means that the colour scheme is intended to be a little brighter than this. In the final product, they may be a little brighter. So I think that's pretty much it. I am going to be, as I say, reviewing these. So if there's any other comments or anything you want to see specifically, I will check them all. I might not be able to reply to all your comments, but by the time I get home, I've got a 4-hour drive to get home. I'll be able to do the review when I get back, so I can check all the comments out there as well. So there you go, guys. That was your in-depth deep dive into the differences between these two figures.